Imagine discovering an opportunity that can completely rebuild your retirement fund by 40% over the next 2 years. Does it sound too good to be true? It's not if you take action today. Call my good friends, and I mean good friends, at Swiss America. Gold IRAs have averaged 20% per year growth since 2001. It's just common sense to roll over dead paper assets into gold, the best performing asset of the century. Then you can relax no matter what happens on Wall Street. Call now for a complete Gold 101 DVD and my free CD.
Call toll-free 888-867-8965. That's 888-867-8965.
For nearly a decade, I've told you to trust gold coins and Swiss America. Today, it's more urgent than ever. Get my CD, DVD, and new special report.
Call toll-free 888-867-8965. That's 888-867-8965.
Learn before you earn. Don't just imagine rebuilding your wealth. Do it now.
Call 888-867-8965 today.
No one else can say it that clear and that precise. And he has passion, of course.
The Savage Nation. Weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk 910. KNEW.
Walking on the high wire 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for 15 years. Wire that stretches from the Transamerica Tower to the Empire State Building. Welcome to the Savage Nation. You want me to go down memory lane? You want me to do cars? You want me to forget Britain? I may forget it. I'll let my lawyers handle it and just put it out of my mind. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah. You know, it's an amazing career that I'm in. I got to tell you something. On one hand, it's as easy as you can imagine. I make it sound easy. I'm kind of the guy with the lariat. You know who I'm talking about. Will Rogers. We got up and he just twirled a lariat and he made comments and told jokes. And people loved him. Now, when I'm at my best, I can do that when I don't get angry. He never got angry. See, that's the difference, is I'm hot-headed. I admit it. I blow up very easily. In that way, I'm an ordinary man. I mean, I'm quick to anger and quick to forget. That's an ordinary man. There's three types of men, if you study this from a biblical perspective. The ordinary man is quick to anger and quick to forgive. The evil man is quick to anger and slow to forgive. The saint is slow to anger and quick to forgive. So, I mean, I understand that, but you can't change yourself just because you know what the right thing to do is. So what I'm getting at is, when I hear play Eddie My Love again, I got distracted with thinking. I don't want to think. I'm sick of thinking. Turn on the music again.
Eddie My Love.
All right, let me put back the memory lane cap. Okay, around this period of American history, when this song was big, trying to think back now, I think I would visit cousins in Pennsylvania, and it was the first time I ever heard of a pizza. I didn't know what a pizza was, to show you how. I guess I'm old, man. And I remember they brought a pizza in the house. Everyone was oohing and eyeing downstairs. I was sleeping in the attic with the kids, and we heard that a pizza was coming. And we crept down the steps from the attic, and everyone was staring at an object inside a cardboard box that smelled like vomit. I swear, I mean, you talk about a child, the way a child's perceptions are. The first time I smelled mozzarella cheese, it smelled like vomit. Does it? Is that because the mozzarella cheese was better then or worse then? Was that authentic mozzarella cheese, and today it's like ersatz, like a fake Miro poster? Because everything is ersatz. The buffalo mozzarella is not buffalo, and it's not mozzarella. You know what I'm getting at here or not? I mean, should pizza smell like vomit to be good pizza, is it? It's like beer. I remember I couldn't wait to drink my first beer. So I was 11, 10 years old. And, of course, they wouldn't give me alcohol. But my uncle was a big beer drinker. So I was into magic at that time. Remember this phase in my life now? Magician. I wanted to do magic. So I used to buy these novelties either on when we'd go down, my friend and I, by train to 42nd Street. I'd go into these crazy novelty stores. And one of my favorite novelties was a fake glass of beer. I thought that was the neatest thing I'd ever seen in my 11 years on Earth. It was a glass of beer, fake, with a head of foam on it. And I said, I'm going to trick my uncle. I'm going to put the beer out and say, Uncle, would you like a glass of beer? Like he wouldn't know. Kids are really amazing how innocent they are. And I thought I'd put a little bit of real beer on the top. But I was so disappointed when I pushed the beer out. He laughed. He said, that's a fake glass of beer, isn't it? I was so embarrassed that he knew right away. But I'm saying to you something else. This was an innocent age in America. We didn't have a computer to sit home all day long. And there's a real world. Even to get a trinket, a toy, you couldn't order it online. You had to go to a seedy store on 42nd Street, a novelty, risk the perverts and the kidnappers in order to go in and out of the city. And you came home with it with a novelty. Not today. Today, a kid doesn't leave the house. He lives in a shell. And when he does go out into the real world, if anything happens, he doesn't know how to deal with it. It's like poison ivy, poison oak. No immunity to it. Actually, it's like H1N1 virus, by the way. You want me to make that analogy? You want me to get political? I would. Why do you think the youngsters are getting very, very severe cases of H1N1? They don't have immunity to it. The older people were exposed to similar strains, not identical, similar strains, flu strains, and have some immunity to this H1N1. It's very interesting how it's attacking teenagers in early 20s and killing them. It is. And the older people are not getting as affected as you would normally expect, because normally the bell curve tells you who dies in an epidemic or who gets severely sick. The very young and the very old. It's not the same here. And it's a very interesting phenomenon. But I remember during the polio epidemic of the early 50s, my father, everyone was in a panic. And they closed down swimming pools. They wouldn't let kids. You know what it was. People were like living in a fantasy land. My dad would take me down to the filthy, dirty Lower East Side where he had a store. I mean, dirty streets, garbage, and whatever. And he'd make me walk in the streets with him, hold my little hand. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, let me explain something to you." He said, "If I walk you around these streets, because there are so many germs, and because you were so young, your body will develop an immunity to them." I didn't know what it was, but it sounded good. I liked the idea that I would develop an immunity. I didn't know what it was, but it sounded good. And he was right. And the kids who were not exposed, certainly, to these microbes, certainly did get sicker than those who were. And it's the same with life itself. Why do you think that an invading snail can be dropped in a bay off the back of a ship? It comes in, let's say, from China on the back of a freighter, and it swims off in a bay in America, and it wipes out all of the local clams. It wipes out the oysters because it's hardier, and the local oysters don't have an immunity to it. It's the same with invading cultures. Put your moronic heads together. The illegal aliens, whether you love them or you don't love them, are an invading organism in a certain strange way. On a biological level, you know I'm right.
Savage.
The Michael Savage Defense Fund. Every dollar helps protect free speech. Find out more at michaelsavage.com. Welcome to the Savage Nation. This is yours truly, Michael Savage. The mastermind of the Pan Am bombing over Lockerbie, Scotland, was released to a hero's welcome in Libya. Same left-wing radical Labour government under Gordon Brown decided to release the man who killed hundreds to his home in Libya, where he arrived to a hero's welcome. The very same government that released the Lockerbie bomber for compassionate reasons has denied Michael Savage his freedom of movement and his freedom of speech. Now, I want to pause right here. You've heard it all before. You haven't heard it all before. In a world of hype, and in a world of hype artists, it's very difficult for the average listener to know what's true, what's false, what's real, what's an act, what they should be concerned about. I recognize that. But what if there really is such a case of an innocent man being targeted by an illegitimate government strictly to placate the radical Muslims in that nation, out of fear that the radical Muslims will know that they've been namely picked on for good reasons, because you've got people there marching around screaming death to Britain, death to the USA, overthrow Britain, blah, 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 we will kill you, we will do this. You've seen the signs, you've heard it. So the British government is afraid of them, as they should be. But in order to balance this list of excluded individuals, they choose a white man, a conservative from America who has a radio show, in order to balance the list. Now, you would say, well, they have a right to do it. No, my friends, they don't have the right to do it. Don't jump to the conclusion that a nation has the right to exclude somebody simply on the basis of speech. And if this government was so concerned with their fine nation being a place that is an honor to come to, an honor to live in, as I'm sure it is for so many millions of Brits, why would they free the Lockerbie bomber to go home to a hero's welcome in Libya? When I saw the new legal findings, which I'm going to talk about today on the Savage Nation, and we just posted a new letter that was released to Jackie Smith with demands in it, and recommendations and demands. It's on michaelsavage.com. Now, you could say, what do I care about? That I care about Obamacare. I do, too. I care about Obamacare, too. I understand what it is. It's socialized medicine. I understand that it's been discovered that Mr. Axelrod, who is the chief of staff for Obama,